Hi, Sarah here with a layout process video using the April Mind the Scrap kit, and I'm lifting a layout made by Amanda over in the Facebook group for Mind the Scrap. We've been doing a Chinese Whispers challenge and this is my second layout in that challenge. So if you're interested in joining in the fun over there, I'll be leaving links below for the Facebook group. You don't have to be a Mind the Scrap subscriber to join in the fun, and I'll also leave a link to their shop in case you're interested in any of the products. So this was the basic design of Amanda's layout. There was a large circle with lots of small circles with photographs around the edge, as well as a larger picture in the middle, and I wanted to stay quite close to her design because I thought it was really original and unusual looking in a good way obviously. So I wanted to give this a whirl, and a future date I want to lift this one as well and do a first year or first 6 months layout with lots of little pictures of my boy in that as well. So for this layout I couldn't decide on whether to use the ledger paper or do my background on black cardstock. So at the moment I'm just trying it on both, and also you can see I've thrown a load of ephemera onto that centre bit. That's because I wanted to just take out all things I thought could go with it, and then I'll narrow it down afterwards. I took out the red 2 from the Vicky Bouton ephemera, and there was also a frame from the crepe paper ephemera. There's lots of different bits and bobs there, all in the kit, and I wanted to create a nice cluster around that main photo in the middle. Here I'm adding lots of highly swapped colour shine mists, and I've layered a piece of white cardstock over that to bring up some of the colour, because quite often I find that you can get a second background if you press one piece down over the top of another, and I'll keep that for later to see what I can come up with for that. So as well as a slightly more muted version here, I wanted to add some splatters which will not be dabbed off, so they'll stay a brighter colour. And as well as some of these colour shine colours, I did use a distressed mica spray in antique bronze because the colour matched the stars in the vellum that came in the kit, because it's that kind of rose gold coppery colour. Even though it's called antique bronze, it came out that pinkish gold colour, so that worked really well. So here I'm just seeing what I think of my background and seeing if it goes with my circle, and I'm happy with that. So I've left it to one side to dry while I sort out my paper clusters and decide on my centre part of my layout where all my ephemera and my main photograph go in. So because in my photograph I had that little bit of red on the train, I really wanted to try and use the 2 that came in the kit because it was his second birthday, and there was also these acetate sort of opaque, slightly opaque whitish alphas, which I wanted to try and use as well. So there I was just having a look through and waiting for my cardstock to dry, which is now dry. So now I'm going to be placing everything back on it and deciding which way around I want my colours to be popping out from the edges. So I'm going back in with my photographs and my ephemera, but in the end I decide against the I am 2 because the I am letters just weren't popping off the page because of the vellum. They didn't really show up very well. So I end up taking the 2 off as well, because although there is that little bit of the same colour in the Thomas engine, I didn't feel like there was enough of it to warrant bringing that extra colour into the layout in general. So I just go into my stash and find some thickers, some glitter thickers, and I just go around the edge and write I am 2 today, around that edge, following the layout sort of direction with it being in a circle. I thought that looked quite nice, and just finished off some more glitter down the side, and I also put a heart down to balance it as well. I'm just adding some foam here to the back of my photo, and then I'll be layering all the ephemera back on. With the frame, I do actually cut it in two because half of it is hidden, and that means I can just use the other half for another layout. I'm just being thrifty with my ephemera because I do love to use gold glitter things on my layout, so I like to make them last longer if I can. There we go, cutting that down. And I've also stuck down all my photographs around the edge. They are quite subtle really, but I did add foam to the back of them so that they are 3D and they do pop up off the layout in real life. They do stand out more in real life. So here I'm just adding some extra little pieces for extra interest in that centerpiece, and as you can see I've added that bit of a frame underneath, so I managed to save the rest of that for another one. And I'm just adding a little bit of foam underneath that ephemera piece there, so one half is normal adhesive and one half is foam, so it can sit neatly on top of the photograph without being on a slant. And there I add a little gold heart to the other side to balance the gold out from the I am to today on the other part of the layout. And I think I'm pretty much done. I can't remember what I do next. So I'm cutting out black cardstock, which means I'm covering my photos, and then I'm coming back in and layering some more of my ink sprays over the top of the layout to make them pop a bit more, and put a few over the top of the vellum. So there I was just adding extra glue to that part because it wasn't sticking very well. So here I've taken out my gold colour shine this time, which I hadn't added to the layout previously, but because I ended up using lots of pops of gold on there, it seemed fitting to add that on, and then a bit more of the antique bronze distress mica spray as well, just to finish it off. And I think that might be it this time. So yep, that's me done. I'll show you a quick close up there. There'll be pictures at the end. If you'd like to see more from me, please like and subscribe, and check out the links below if you're interested in the Facebook group and the Mind the Scrap kits. Thanks for joining me today. Bye!